Hello everybody and welcome back to Hardwired Dog Training. I'm Nathan Beatty, and again we have my Border Collie puppy, Bungie. Today we're going to be talking about place. And place is one of my absolute favorite commands. I start almost every single dog training appointment with place because it teaches a lot of things to the dog. One of the main things that it teaches is impulse control. So the ability to stay in one spot and not go after the things that you really want. So I can put him on place and go open the door, or I can put him on place and throw a ball and he won't move from his place because he's been conditioned to the 3Ds, which is duration, distance, and distraction. And so what that does is it helps with separation anxiety, it helps with door manners, it helps with stay, and it helps with virtually every single other aspect of dog training that you can think of. And so I can take this placemat anywhere, or if I've done it right, I can point to a bench in public and tell them to place on that, or even a curb and tell them to place on that, because this command translates to just about every other dog training aspect in the world. And so I'm going to show you a little bit about how to do it today. It's relatively simple, but there are a few little nuances in it. One of the big ones that I would like to talk about for littler dogs, you want to set them up for success. So being this far away is not a good idea at first, because you have to build the duration and the distance and the distraction. So you want to fold the leash in half and hold it close so he has less chance of walking away from you while you're in the middle of your training. And once you've done that, what you're going to do is take a few of the kibble in your hand, or treats, or whatever you're using, and I'm going to put it right in front of here, and then I'm going to point at the mat and say place. And I'm going to drop the treats in all four corners. Hopefully he sees them. And that way he's more likely to walk around the mat, to sniff it, and not to run off. And that's what I want him to learn, is that this is a place for you to stay. He cannot get off until I tell him he can. And that's the big issue here with a lot of people, is they'll put their dog in a sit, or they'll put him in a down, or they'll put him on place, and then they'll let the dog get off whenever the dog wants. And so to build duration, when he starts looking at the edge of the mat and everything, or trying to fall off, you're going to say good place, and you're going to set it down, and you're going to do that about every 10 seconds that he's on. Or if your dog's a little more impatient, you got to shorten that duration a little bit, and eventually you'll work up to 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. But you see how he's looking at the edge there? I'm going to be one step ahead, and I'm going to say good place. And then if he lays down on the place, I'm going to give him a jackpot. I'm not going to tell him to lay down. I'm not going to tell him to sit. I'm not going to tell him to do anything, because place is place. Place should be the only thing he knows to do. And right now, I'm going to say free. I'm going to set a few treats down to encourage him to get off. Another thing is, a lot of dogs are afraid of the placemat at first. They don't want to get up on the elevated surface. And so what you would do in that case is you would take your placemat and you'd turn it over, just like that. And he's a lot more likely to get on it now. Bungie, place. And you want to put the treats down on the placemat. Don't feed the treats from your hand at first. You can do that eventually, but right now I want him to associate the treats with the mat. And I want to encourage him to keep his head down on it, and so eventually he might actually lay down. Looks like the other dog wants to be placing too, because he sees we have good food over here. We're having a good time. So anyway, so he sits. I'm going to give him more treats. Once he lays down, if he does, which he may not at this point, I would give him even more. But right now, since we're working on it, I want him to really understand what that word place means. So I'm going to say, Bungie, free. And put a few treats down off of the mat. I'm going to flip it back over because I know he's not scared to get on top of it. If your dog is scared, you may have to work up to this. Bungie. Nope, not yet. I didn't tell him to get on that time. If he gets on without my permission, it's fine, but I'm not going to reward him for it. But since we're training right now, bungee, place. Yes. I don't want him to anticipate my command. And so again, you have to say one step ahead of your dog. But this is a relatively simple and easy thing for your dog to learn. And all you're going to keep doing is just saying, good place. And do that 4 or 5 times, get him off, do it again. Do it for about 5 minutes a day. Within a week, he'll have it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and please comment whatever you want me to go over. Ask your questions, and I will do my best to get to them. Thank you.